All right, welcome to our latest Bonney Lake market update. We try to keep you in the know of what's happening here in the local market, from the plateau to the lake. It's a jungle out there. It's a crazy market, as we all know. Hope everyone's doing well and surviving these times. But let's drill down on some numbers of what's happening in the market at different price points. We talk about the sales ratio. 55% is kind of the balance market that we like to see, but a lot of the price points are at 100, 200% sales ratio, so much more of a seller's market. But believe it or not, there is a price point where it is more balanced, about that 55% a spot where buyers are more in control than the others. Interest rates being so low is really the driver here that's happening. Seattle flight is still a huge thing, as well as flights from other parts of the country. People are coming here in droves, and so demand is still there. Home prices are still going up, and new construction continues to really take hold, specifically here in the Tehaleh area where we live. So let's go through some of these price points. We do this every month to keep you in the know, so you really know what's going on in the market, and when is the good time for you to jump in. So hopefully this is helpful for you. In the Bonney Lake area, from 350 to 450. We got 99 active listings. We have 163 pending. That's almost a 200% sales ratio, 164. So there's really no inventory there. Homes are going fast. These numbers are May and June numbers, and they're August and September numbers with volume-wise. So the market has shifted from the spring market. The spring market is now the fall market. So things are kind of all out of whack with the normal cycles of the real estate industry here in the local area and throughout the Puget Sound area. So new listings are down, but the average days on market continue to be about a month or below. So homes are going fast in that price range. So that's a 350 to 450. That starter home range, really tough market to get into. However, here in Tehaleh, they are building homes with a smaller footprint that fit that price point. So let me know if you want more information about that. There are a couple builders here that are really doing a great job in addressing the need for homes in that price point. Condos, townhouses, and even single-family homes in that price range still can be had here in Tehaleh. The 450 to 600. There's 35 active, there's 68 pending, still a strong ratio, almost 200%, 194, so there's no inventory there, hardly at all. New listings dropped about 10% from a month ago. If you're a seller, it doesn't get any better than this. Don't be, if you're ready to sell, don't be worried. Your home prices are still growing. We're getting 3 to 4 offers per listing, so it's still very, very active out there, a lot of buyers out there, and there's no need to put an offer review date because the homes are going to go really fast. You're going to get those offers right off the bat. But if you're a seller and your home's been on the market more than 3 days, then you've got a price issue or a condition issue. And we talked about that before. You have to make sure you get a local agent that really is in tune with your neighborhood and the community there, and what the price points are, what's moving, what's going to move your home. And if it's in that price point too, that 450 to 600, you're really dealing with a lot of new construction. So you got to make sure your house is in the right condition. You can't skimp on preparing your house for sale. You just can't get an agent that's going to put a sign out and think that that's going to get it done. You need to get a local agent that's really going to prepare your home professionally from all aspects. So keep that in mind. If you've got amazing upgrades and really have a great landscaping and the home looks great, you've taken care of the house, you're gonna do really well. If you haven't, then you need to get an agent in there that's going to help you figure out a game plan, get that house sold. And then make sure, if you are working with a local agent, they're going to watch that contract like a hawk to make sure the buyers are performing. I think we talked about that before, that you need to have an agent that's going to contact the lender for every offer that you get to make sure you're just not taking the highest offer that comes in and not doing your due diligence through your agent to make sure that the buyer is well financed and able to get to the closing table. There are a lot of lenders out there now that are very distracted with refinancing, so you want to make sure you get a local lender that's really focusing on what's best in this community, in this market. Make sure you're getting a full-time agent too that's working the community, has his finger on the pulse of what's happening in your market, and you'll be fine. Professionally preparing the house, making sure it's priced right and it's going to sell. Buyers, make sure you have a reasonable budget. Talk to your lender, talk to your financial guy, and let your agent guide you through the best strategic plan to get you into a home. Too many buyers are overextending themselves, and 1 in 4 of those lenders, 1 in 4 buyers actually fall out of contract, so you want to make sure you're not one of those. Sit down, put a reasonable budget together, set your expectations. You're probably going to have to make 3 or 4 offers before you get the house, so don't fall in love with the first one. It is a methodical process, and you're going to have to put a plan together, and a good agent's going to set those expectations. So we'll get you in the house eventually. Just make sure that you are realistic about what you're getting into. There are real costs to owning a house, so you don't want to empty your bank account just to get in to a house. You want to make sure you have enough reserves left over to take care of anything that needs to be taken care of once you get in the house. Appraisals are starting to tighten up, and they're starting to come in a little bit lower for some deals, so be aware of that. There's a lot of overbidding going on, and appraisals are kind of keeping that in check. We just had one that appraised for $15,000 lower than what the agreed upon price was. But if you've got a collaborative agent, they're going to keep the deal together. One party wants to sell, one party wants to buy. Keep it together, and you'll be fine. Keep in mind that the highest price doesn't always get the deal done. It's the strongest constructed offer that really will get your offer accepted over anyone else's. So keep that in mind when you're working with an agent. Make sure their contract negotiation skills and their writing skills are top notch. So keep that in mind. And we talked about this before, about if you're a buyer and you find that house that you want, but it's pending, make sure your agent reaches out to them. That's a great tip, that they, who knows what's going on with that offer. And if that deal falls through, you want to get yourself in a backup position where you can still look for homes, but be able to grab the home, slide right in there and grab that home without it going back on the market and having to deal with all the competition that's out there. So that's a good tip for buyers out there. Make sure if you're looking at homes, you find one pending, just don't dismiss it. And then sellers, the biggest takeaway today is making sure you get that local agent that's going to not only be able to tell the story of your home, but the community in which it resides. So buyers are super sophisticated these days. They're coming not only from Seattle, but from other big cities. They're online, they're looking at videos. You gotta have your home ready to sell. So don't skimp on marketing, and your online presence is really important. So make sure you get an agent that's on top of that. Anyway, see you next time.